Today's video, in tandem with 8 Pro, is going to be a very, very important one. Whenever you buy a coin, you usually either FOMO into it or you have some sort of conviction into it or it's a narrative play. And you have a good reason before you buy it. And because of new protocols like Photon, 8 Pro, BullX, and Pump Fun, of course, a lot of the coins you buy are mostly anti-rug. You can't mint more tokens, you can't be frozen, you can't just immediately pull liquidity and all this other stuff. But there's a lot of other stuff you should look out for security-wise before you buy some tokens. So today we're going to go over a few things you can do before you buy any token ever to check for their security. Stuff like bundling, top holders, holder distribution, and a couple of other stuff. The thing about these tools is that usually you need to buy like paid subscription into a Discord or into a Telegram, or you start your own Discord and you pay for it and you just stick it in there. Or you wait a couple weeks and you maybe see what Jupiter Uplink has planned for something like this. Might be free, might not be. For us, we're going to be borrowing the kitchen from Mello. Thank you, Mello. So these security checks that I talk about are pretty standard, but a lot of people don't use them and they're pretty objectively good to use. And when you don't, you get burned real quickly. Very worth it. So here we just copy and pasted the CA for UFD and we're looking at top holders. Top holders shows you basically the top holders of this coin. What is their biggest holding in their wallet? And are they whales? Are they smart traders and stuff like that? So from this, we can see the number 5 holder of UFD has 540K in wrapped SOL. That's pretty good sign because this means that they're not going to sell early. It doesn't mean they're in here for like 5, 10 SOL profit. If they are top holders, that usually means they're whales. Whales usually are smarter traders, so they're not going to like kill the chart if they made a bunch of money. And this also is pretty good for your coin because whales tend to control a lot of the supply for a lot of these coins that you're in if they're early. Another great check to do is the bundle check. So what this shows is whether or not in the same block that this token was minted, was it sniped by insiders or was it bundled by a team to basically control supply, either in a good or a bad way. Sometimes bundled coins aren't bad. Like if you have a team that you trust and they bundled 40, 50% of the supply, that basically means they've cornered 40, 50% of the supply and you could trust they're not going to dump on you. But 99% of the time, if a coin is bundled, it's not good. It means that insiders, snipers, and team have purposely bought up a bunch of the supply and are most likely going to dump it on you later. And in the case of UFD, Unicorn Fart Dust, it looks like 3% of the supply was sniped within the same blocks. So what that means is that when it was created, in that same block, somebody bought 3% of the supply. That's really not that big of a percentage, and now that we know UFD is a pretty good coin with good backing, and it's at 130 mil market cap, it probably isn't something you need to be afraid of. But for majority of the other coins that you're buying that are like 900K market cap, you should be wary if they seem as sniped like 40, 30, 50%. That's a big percentage. Another tool that I use that I really, really enjoy is Dev's Nightmare Pro. This one's on Telegram, and what it does is similar. It'll show, though, insiders, snipers, team, bundle, everything at once, and it'll give you updates when those bundles are either sold or insiders and snipers are sold, which is really useful. So here we have UFD, same coin. Top 10 holders own 16% for the total supply. Not that bad. And then you can go to the first buyers, you can go to the track team, you can go to top traders, all this other stuff, and basically see how bad was the first hour of this coin, or how bad was this sniped, how bad were insiders trading and stuff like that. Here we can see that team members 3 bought 1.57% of the total supply and currently hold 10 million tokens. So they still hold 67% of the initial supply. Here we see that there were 26 snipers for this token, which sucks, not the best. And they did initially buy 25%, and now they still have 5%, which is good. That means that of the 25% they bought, they sold 20%. So most of the snipers should be out of this trade. Insiders, this is debatable. How do you know they're insiders? Were they actually insiders? Were they just early? 79, that's kind of crazy. They bought 33% of the supply, which is crazy, but they still only have 15%, which is good. So that means, again, these numbers should go from high to low. It should say they had 30%, now they only have 15. They had 20%, now they only have 10. If these numbers are going lower, that means that these insiders, team, bundle, and snipers are getting lower and lower, so the supply is less being controlled by people you don't want to have the supply from.